When you visit Wellington, people will tell you about certain things. They will mention the wind, because Wellington has lots of wind. They will talk about the coffee, which is usually very good. And they will definitely, absolutely tell you to ride the cable car. It's red, it's famous, it's a Wellington institution, you see. You simply cannot visit New Zealand's capital city and miss it. It's like going to Paris and not seeing that tall, pointy tower, or visiting Egypt and skipping those big triangular things in the desert. It's just one of those must-do activities, really, a quintessential part of the whole Wellington experience. Now, what exactly is this cable car? It's a good question. It's not like a ski lift dangling you high in the air. And it's not quite a train chugging along on a normal track. It's technically a funicular railway, if you want to be precise, which means it's pulled up a steep hill by cables. Very strong cables, one hopes. Wellington is a city built on hills, very steep hills indeed. So a funicular makes a lot of sense here, doesn't it? It's a charming, bright red contraption, a bit like a friendly mechanical beetle, climbing determinedly up the slope, taking people with it. A rather clever solution for a rather vertical city. So why would you want to ride this red mechanical beetle? Well, lots of people ride it for the spectacular views, they say. And they are not wrong. The views can be quite something. Others ride it for a sense of history, a little trip back in time. For many, it's a convenient shortcut, a way to avoid a very steep walk. It takes you right up to the beautiful Wellington Botanic Garden. Or perhaps you ride it just because it's there, looking so inviting, all shiny and red, promising a small, delightful adventure. It beckons you from its station at the bottom of the hill. A little piece of moving heritage waiting to be experienced, and it does feel like a proper little adventure, you know. Even though the journey itself is not particularly long at all. It's a distinct transition, a clear movement from one place to another, from the bustling, sometimes chaotic city streets down below to a place that feels a bit calmer, a bit greener, certainly higher. It's a change of scene, a change of pace, a change of altitude. You step inside, the doors close, and the ascent begins. Leaving the everyday world behind for a few precious minutes, it's a charming escape right in the heart of the city. Let's hop on board and see where it takes us, shall we? The journey usually begins at Lambton Quay, right in the city's heart. This is where Wellington's commercial pulse beats strongest, you could say. There are shops everywhere, selling all sorts of interesting things. Offices hum with activity and people hurry along the pavements. The cable car station itself is rather modestly tucked away. You might almost miss it if you weren't specifically looking for it. It's like a secret portal hidden in plain sight amidst the urban sprawl. A gateway to a different perspective on this vibrant city, leading you away from the flatland by the harbour, upwards towards the hills that cradle Wellington. First, you need a ticket, of course. That's how these things work. You can buy one at the counter or sometimes from a machine. Then you wait for one of the two cars. They're a pair, you see. They are cleverly counterbalanced, like dancers in a vertical ballet. As one car ascends the steep slope, its partner gracefully descends. They always pass each other at the exact halfway point. A brief nod, a quick hello, before continuing their separate journeys. This system is very efficient, ensuring there's always a car coming. It's a continuous loop of motion, serving the city tirelessly, a testament to well-thought-out engineering. Soon, your car arrives, its doors slide open with a welcoming whoosh. People shuffle in, finding a seat or a place to stand. The cars are not enormous, they are quite compact actually. Cozy is a good word to describe the interior, I think. Then with a gentle hum, the journey commences. It starts slowly. A slight pull, a feeling of movement, and then the climb truly begins. The city below starts to recede, shrinking with every passing second. Buildings become like toy blocks and the harbour stretches out. Even from the lower parts of the track, the view is impressive. It's a teaser for what's to come further up the hill. The entire track stretches for about 612 metres. That's roughly 2,000 feet, or just over a third of a mile, so it's not exactly the Trans-Siberian Railway, is it? But in that short distance it achieves something quite remarkable. It climbs a vertical height of 120 metres, which is nearly 400 feet. That's like going up a 40-story building, but on an angle. The whole trip takes only about 5 minutes from bottom to top. 5 minutes of steadily changing scenery and growing anticipation, watching the world transform as you are smoothly pulled upwards, a brief but memorable ascent above the city. Now don't go thinking this cable car is some modern tourist gimmick. It's not a recent invention dreamed up to amuse visitors. Oh no, this particular mode of transport is genuinely old, properly historic. It first rumbled into life way back in the year 1902. Just try to imagine that for a moment, over a century ago. That's before the First World War reshaped the globe, before television screens flickered in every living room, and quite possibly before they even perfected putting jam in donuts. It's a genuine survivor from a very different era, a working relic that still serves its purpose faithfully. So, why did the good people of Wellington decide to build it? Well, back at the turn of the 20th century, Wellington was booming. The city was expanding and folks were looking for new places to live. The suburb of Kelburn, perched high on the hills, was becoming desirable. But getting up and down those incredibly steep slopes was a real challenge. Horses, the main transport then, found it terribly hard going. People on foot found it even harder, puffing and panting all the way. They desperately needed a more efficient, less exhausting solution. A clever piece of engineering to conquer the vertical landscape, something to make hillside living a practical reality. And so, the Wellington Cable Car was born, a marvel of its time. It was a significant feat of engineering for the early 1900s. Its arrival transformed the city of Wellington in profound ways. It effectively unlocked the hillside suburbs for development and growth. Suddenly, living up high became much more accessible and convenient. It wasn't just a scenic ride, it was an essential transport link, connecting the heart of the city with the burgeoning residential areas above. It played a crucial role in shaping the Wellington we see today. A lifeline for the communities nestled on the steep terrain. More than just steel and cables, it was a pathway to progress. One can only imagine the excitement of those very first passengers. Ladies in their long skirts and elegant hats, I suppose. Gentlemen in smart suits and perhaps even bowler hats, stepping aboard this amazing new machine, this modern wonder, being smoothly whisked up the hillside away from the city's clamour, up towards the fresh air and new homes of Kelburn. It must have felt like stepping into the future, truly a genuine revolution in local transportation for the city's residents. It connected the bustling downtown with the tranquil heights, making daily life considerably easier for many Wellingtonians. As your little red car makes its determined climb, do look around. Don't just stare at your shoes or the person opposite. The views unfolding outside the windows are quite splendid, you know. You get a wonderful panorama across the cityscape of Wellington. The buildings, the streets, all laid out like a miniature model. Further out, the vast expanse of the harbour glitters invitingly. On a clear, sunny day, the visibility can be astonishing. You might see distant hills, ranges, and the rugged coastline. It's a perfect opportunity for a photograph or several. So keep your camera or phone ready to capture the moment. The journey also includes a passage through a few tunnels. They aren't terribly long like those ones trains go through for ages, but they add a certain element of surprise and fun to the ride. Suddenly, the bright daylight is replaced by a brief exciting darkness, then just as quickly you emerge back into the light again. Children especially seem to enjoy this part of the adventure. It's a bit like a very gentle, very slow fairground attraction, much more sedate than a roller coaster and probably far safer too. These days, the tunnels are often lit with colourful changing lights, a modern disco-like touch to the historic journey. When you reach the top, you'll find yourself in the suburb of Kelburn. This is where the Wellington Botanic Garden awaits your exploration. It's a vast, beautiful space full of interesting plants and peaceful paths. Right near the upper station, there's also the Cable Car Museum. Here you can delve deeper into the history of this fascinating transport. You can see one of the original old cable cars carefully preserved and learn all about the clever mechanics that make it all work. It's a worthwhile little stop before you continue your day. Perhaps before wandering through the gardens or finding a nice cafe, a chance to appreciate the heritage you've just experienced. Even today, more than a century after it first opened, it remains vital. The Wellington Cable Car is not just a relic for tourists to admire. Regular commuters still use it every day to get to work or university. Students heading to Victoria University find it a convenient route. And yes, tourists from all over the world flock to ride it. It has become an undeniable symbol of Wellington itself, a cherished piece of living, working history that everyone loves. It's a fun, gentle and thoroughly enjoyable experience for all ages. With a fascinating story to tell and truly magnificent views, it's definitely a highlight, a must-do when you're in town.